Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back on video number 5. In this video, I would like to discuss the topic of praise versus encouragement as a parenting and coaching skill of a Tarbiya coach. You must be asking, is there even a difference between both? Well, yes, a huge difference. You might think both are tools to boost your child's sense of self-empowerment, but one can do that effect and one can actually reverse it. Rudolf Drecker's taught, a child needs encouragement just like a plant needs water. In other words, encouragement is essential. Children may not fail without encouragement, but they certainly will. Research by Carol Dweck, a professor at Stanford University, has now proven what the famous Adler taught years ago. Praise is not only not good, for it can affect the resilience and risk-taking. Children who were praised for being smart when they accomplished a task chose easier tasks in the future. They didn't want to risk making mistakes. On the other hand, children who were encouraged for their efforts were willing to choose more challenging tasks when given a choice. Don't worry, we will not leave you perplexed and show you the difference verbally. The rule is, encourage the effort, not the doer. Sounds Chinese? What does that mean? So, in other words, instead of saying, you got an A, I'm so proud of you, try, congratulations, you really worked hard, you deserve it. A subtle difference, but it will change the perception of your child. I think it makes more sense now, but you want to know where does your child lies. Is that praising usually gets immediate results. Your heart falls when you see that smile on your child's face when you say, you're brilliant or you're such a good girl. That can be rewarding, but on the long run, it steals your child's ability to take chances and focus on the effort needed or even measure the long-term effects on their actions. It will make them crave more of that praise with minimum effort they need to make. Praise is like a candy. A little can be very satisfying, but too much can cause problems. Awareness is the key. Notice if your kids are becoming addicted to praise and they need it all the time, that must be a warning sign. An important skill children need is to self-reflect and self-evaluate, and praise teaches the opposite. So saying things like, good boy, or what a pretty picture, or you're such a strong kid, all of these are focusing on results. It turns our children into approval seekers. They learn to depend on others and to evaluate their worth from there. Praise focuses on perfection rather than progress and improvement. It focuses on a right or wrong outcome rather than a meaningful experience. A good or bad decisions rather than the decision-making process. It focuses on pride or disappointment rather than the acceptance and support. So take a moment to write down the usual statements you use or approaches you use to encourage your child. Come on, write about 3 statements. I'll give you some time. Now ask yourself the following questions to assess whether this approach or these statements is praise or encouragement. Ask yourself, is this statement, am I inspiring self-evaluation or dependence on the evaluation of others? Am I being respectful or patronizing? Am I seeing the child's point of view or only my own? Would I make this comment to a friend or even my spouse? So, in conclusion, encouragement is helping your children develop courage to grow and develop into the people they want to be, to feel capable, to be resilient, to enjoy life, to be happy and contributing members of society. And as Drecker said, to have the courage to be imperfect, to feel free to make mistakes and to learn from them. Now that you're able to assess the difference, here are some tips to encourage your children, some verbally encouraging phrases like, I can tell you're working hard on reading because you've finished a longer book this time. Things like, the colors you chose for the sunset were unique. That was the first time you've jumped a rope without stumbling, for example. You can use something like, I appreciate the way you organize the shelf. It makes it easier to find everything. You look proud of yourself and you really proved you can do it. So use encouragement on regular basis and teach your children to create an internal framework for themselves in which to self-assess their lives, their choices, attitudes, actions, and behaviors, as well as their preferences and their progress. They need to figure out what is important to them, which will make it possible for them to create a satisfying and meaningful adult life. Teach them to spend less time asking the outside world to measure their worth as people. Now, I will take my time to praise you. Good job for listening to me for such a long time. Assalamu alaikum and see you on your next video.